Hey, 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 family. Welcome back to another episode of O to Behold with your girl, Camille Young. That is me. Glad to have you with me on today. What's up, Holy Rollers? Holy Rollers, what's going on? Glad to have you as well. To my new subscribers, hi. Welcome to the O to Behold family. All right. Thank you so much for being here with me on today. Look, guys. Books are yet selling. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Slowly but surely. And I'm grateful for every purchase. I'm doing so much better as well. I know I've been talking about myself and not feeling the best over the last few weeks, but y'all, I'm doing so much better. So thank God for that. But most of all, thank God for you being here on today. If you have not already hit that subscribe button, you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. All right, we're glad to have you and want to have you here in the O to Behold family. You'll be a part of the Holy Rollers, okay, over here at O to Behold. All right, be sure, I said books are still selling. Get your book at otobehold.com. Get your book today at otobehold.com, and you can use the coupon code that's on the home page to get a discount. All right. Well, look, I've done all of that. Let's dive right on into our topic on today. Today's topic is when a person creates their own narrative, you're in trouble. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. Okay? When a person creates their own narrative in their mind about you or about a situation, buddy, you in trouble. Ma'am, you're in trouble. Sir, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And I talk about this because it really goes back to proper communication, or should I say effective communication. And I've talked about communication several times, throughout the videos that I've put out. And what I'm talking about today, it really goes back to, or the foundation of what of this topic really goes back to effective communication. So what do I mean when I say when someone creates a narrative in their mind, you're in trouble? So if you think about a relationship, or it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. Let's start generally. Let's just speak about a relationship in general, a friendship. And there have been some inconsistencies in some of the things that you said, or that person you're in relationship with, and we're talking about friendship right now, just friendship, that you've been in friendship with or in relationship with, and everything is not adding up based on what they've been saying or what you've experienced, or their words don't match their actions, those types of things. Just as a human, you begin to create a narrative in your own mind about who this person really is, okay? Versus what they say they are, or who they say they are. You begin to create your own narrative about that person. Okay, then as we let's bring it into relationships where it's a romantic relationship, meaning a dating relationship or a marital relationship. When you are communicating in those relationships, after you've been with that person long enough to, again, and I hit on this I talked about this last week. You know their routines, you know how they communicate, you just know certain things about them. And then those things that you thought were accurate begin to change. And then you begin to create that narrative in your mind about who they are. You in trouble. Because when the narrative begins to be created, as the narrative is being created, there is an opportunity for that person, the other person who you're creating that narrative about, to make a pivot or to make a turn to cause you to start to think back in the manner in which you originally thought of them. But then there comes a time When that narrative has been created, especially if it's a lie, based on a lie, when that narrative of a lie, untruth, however you want to put it, package it, if that narrative has become what they feel is a lie in their mind, let me make it more personal for me, and maybe you can relate a little better. When Camille has created a narrative in her mind about something that you have said or have not said, or whatever the case may be, and it's not lining up, okay? It's not aligning with what you say the truth is supposed to be. When that narrative has been created in Camille's mind, it's a chance, baby, that ain't gonna change, because now I believe the narrative more than I believe you. Because the narrative that I'm creating is based on your words and or your actions, or your lack of words and or your lack of actions. Okay? Am I making this clear? Do you hear what I'm saying? Because I know I am a person that I try to give people opportunities to be truthful to me on the front end. Because I can handle the truth. Does it hurt? Yeah, especially if it's not a hard truth. But as I say all the time, tell me the truth so I can decide how I want to move. But don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, because when you begin to lie to me, then that's when that narrative begins to be created, and everything that I thought may have been what it was, it's not anymore, because now I have data to support my narrative. Okay? This is just not something arbitrary that I'm making up, I've created in my mind. No, I'm watching your actions. I'm watching your words. I'm paying attention, which has helped to create that narrative in my mind that I have now, that has now not only become a narrative, but it has become the truth for me. Because there's very little now that you can tell me to change my mind, because what the narrative that I've created, or the narrative that I feel like you have shown me, is now my truth about who you are. I know it's deep. But do you hear what I'm saying? We do it all the time, and we may not recognize that that's what we're doing. But we create narratives around people, or based on what they present to us in the long term. I'm not talking about you just met somebody and they tell you one thing. I'm talking about people that you are in relationship with, people who you've learned their movements, you've learned their patterns, you've learned how they operate and move and all of that. You've learned that. And then something disrupts that on a continuous basis to show you that, the person that they said they are, the person that they try to project to me, it looks like more like the truth of who they are is coming out now. Okay? And again, I if you're in a marital relationship, and I'm not telling you to ever leave your husband or your wife or whatever, but you're going to have to change whatever your narrative may be if you have a negative narrative about your mate, your husband, or your wife. Because if you don't, your relationship is headed in an even worse situation. You may be headed to divorce court, or you headed to just being miserable because you don't want to leave or whatever, which is your choice. I have no judgment on that. That's on you. But you can't be happy in a relationship when in your mind, the narrative that is there for you is not a positive one for that person. That's why I said, when they've created that narrative in their mind, you're in trouble. That could be the very death of your relationship, because it's hard to come back once that narrative has been created. Because as I said before, that narrative becomes your truth. Your truth. And it does. And And that's just what it is. And that's how I operate. Now I'm not saying what I say is always right, but it's right for Camille. Now, is it right for you? I don't know. You have to discern that for yourself. But Camille, because see, I try not to be quick to jump to conclusions. I try not to be quick. That's why I say I pay attention, I observe, I listen, not only to your words, but I listen and watch for your actions. Okay? So that's why I can say, once a narrative in my mind has been created, buddy, you in trouble. Yes. And that's just what it is. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today because it's important that, as I mentioned, as I opened up talking about effective communication, one of the things that could help to break somebody creating a negative narrative in their mind about you is to properly communicate with them. Okay? Communication, effective communication. That can change. Being honest, being truthful, all of those things can change the whole scenario or the whole way of a person's thinking if you properly communicate or effectively communicate with them. Okay? So the foundation of what I'm saying is effectively communicate so that someone will not create that narrative in their mind that will cause you or your relationship to be in trouble. Okay? That's just what it is. That's just what it is today, y'all. That's just what it is on today. Okay? All right? So let's be honest. Let's be truthful. Let's communicate effectively. All right? Let's do those things. I mean, my goodness. The world would be such a better place if people knew how to talk and listen to one another and understand one another. All right? And give each other grace for each other. The world would be in such a better place. All right. Well, I was on here way longer than I planned to because I didn't think it was going to be this long, me talking. I got the jabbing and gibbering. Went on longer than I planned. But look, that's all I got for you today. And I hope it helped you and maybe it stirred something up in you to make you to start to think of how you're communicating with the people in your life. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of O to Behold. Be sure to like, share, comment down in the comment section. Get your book at otobehold.com. All of that is in the description, okay? And until next time, God bless.